Hi everyone, I'm Guru Boy Wonder, and I'm here with Vaughn Walker, who's not going to be here long, and daughter Vaughn.
Are you seeing that?
What?
Okay, so we've got a shiny hair, and then we have the stupid bulb. I don't know, that's creepy.
I look luminous. And today we're doing homework.
Alright, so already we have done reading and everything this morning. He read his own personal book, so now we're going to be starting with CommonLit. This is directly from the school, and right on track with everything, it's about water scarcity, which is what we were talking about yesterday. So you need to put your name and the date at the top. Or just your name, not the date. Because I don't think this is in order. They didn't put it in order.
Oh, there's one person watching here? Hi! Embarrassing.
Fun, dude.
Okay, so I just read?
You put your name?
I put my name.
Alright, so yes, you just start reading.
Consider yourself lucky whenever you pour yourself a glass of water. Today, on every continent in the world, there are people who, because of water scarcity, spend their entire day looking for clean water. Water scarcity is pretty much what it sounds like. When water is so scarce in a region that the people there do not have enough clean water to drink, while the majority of people on Earth have access to water, there are still millions of people who do not. According to reports, the United Nations created a part of the Water for Life initiative, and a non-profit water.org, 1 in 10 people do not have access to clean water. Worldwide, this is roughly 783 million people. Imagine 783 million people who struggle daily for clean drink of water. That luckier people wake up to. There are two kinds of water scarcity. The first is physical water scarcity, which occurs in areas without natural water resources, such as desert like the Sahara. The second is economic water scarcity, which occurs in areas where there are enough water resources for people to use, but they are poorly managed and allowed to be contaminated. Physical water scarcity is most often caused by drought. A drought occurs when it rains for far less than in a given area than it usually does. Trade shortages in water supply. Droughts can be declared after a little as 15 days without rainfall and can continue indefinitely. The strongest drought in recorded history lasted for 400 years, and the National Drought Mitigation Center finds only the panhandle of Oklahoma and northern Georgia experiencing extreme drought. California experienced severe drought between 2012 to 2017.
I'm not following there, so I didn't know. So it says 1 in 10 people do not have access to clean water. Okay, so listen to me.
Yes.
Physical water scarcity is most often caused by drought. A drought occurs when it rains for far less in a given area than it usually does, creating shortages in water supply. Droughts can be declared as little as 15 days without rainfall and can continue indefinitely. The longest drought in recorded history lasted for 400 years in the Atacama Desert in Chile. See, that's what I didn't hear. I only heard 400 years. I didn't hear where.
Oh.
However, most modern droughts are not nearly so severe. I think you skipped a line. In the United States, the National Drought Mitigation Center finds only the panhandle of Oklahoma and northern Georgia experiencing extreme drought. California experienced severe drought between 2012 and 2017. As far as I know, we just did it again in the past 5 years. This was written in 2017, so it's obviously kept going.
Yeah.
We are just now possibly thinking about ending the drought in some areas of California because of all the rainfall we had. And you know how much we had. I mean, that was 10 times as much as we normally do.
Like feet of rain. Foots? Feet? Are they called feet or foots?
Feet.
Excuse me, feet or foot.
While Florida experienced severe drought between 2006 and 2007 and again in 2017. Droughts are considerably severe when water shortages become common and extreme when major crop loss occurs. Globally, the center shows that there's extreme drought in the Middle East and Eastern Australia and severe drought in parts of Northern Africa. I know, that's why we'll alternate.
Droughts are a natural process that has occurred throughout history.
Read this one.
The effects of prolonged drought often depend on both severity and how people react to them.
I was thinking if anybody was here.
Sometimes, like in California, drought can simply lead to a change of what is easily available for purchase in grocery stores. Other like the 1900 drought in India, which has a death toll between 250,000 and 3.25 million, can lead to mass migration, famine, and I hate these words.
Humanitarian crisis.
Droughts can
Say
start humanitarian crisis. Droughts can start unexpectedly and last indefinitely. The unpredictability in a major factor is what turns droughts from unpleasant to deadly. Climate scientists are currently predicting that the same human activities which will lead to global climate change will trigger more droughts. The droughts triggered will be less natural and therefore even more unpredictable.
So it's because of like the way that they interfered with growing crops,
Yep, and humans.
Economic water scarcity, on the other hand, is the result of plentiful water resources being mismanaged and leading to contamination and disease, sometimes as a result of war or conflict. In addition, water overuse and pollution are increasing global water insecurity. Contamination occurs whenever something is mixed into a water supply. If it is harmful to humans, animals, or plants, then it is then referred to as pollution. Pollution can be as simple as a dead animal dumped into the river that supplies a village, or as complex as a large multinational corporation building factories that pollute water sources. It can include oil, carcasses, chemicals, and fecal matter.
I know.
Of course you know that. When any one of those is dumped into a main water supply, it contaminates the entire supply, rendering it undrinkable.
Corpses?
Economic water scarcity occurs all over the world. In Lifnin, China, residents say they choke on coal dust daily and cannot drink the water because of the coal mixed into it. In Renapet, India, leather tanning wastes contaminate groundwater with chemical hexavalent chromium, leading to water that residents say stings like an insect. This is the same chemical whose presence in a California water supply triggered massive lawsuit against Pacific Gas and Electric Company, as depicted in 2000 film Aaron Brockovich. Remember we were watching that the other day about that lady that was going around working for the law firm, trying to bring down the electric company because of the water contamination.
Yeah.
Worldwide water is not always contaminated as a result of corporate pollution. In Mexico City, after a 1985 earthquake damaged the pipes and tunnels the city had built for water, the government could not manage to repair the damage. Now, over 30 years later, the city still does not have access to clean drinking water.
What?
Drinking the water in any of these places.
Why can't they? They've done it once, like they made it. Why can't they?
You have to recontain all of the chemicals and stuff.
Okay.
And
it's worth
it. They probably don't have the money to do it.
It's still worth it. It's like now you're just killing millions of people. Now you're gonna unpopulate and be dumb.
Drinking the water in any part of these places, including parts of the USA, will lead to health problems. Even here in our own water supply, they say we have an unusually high amount of arsenic, so we have to be careful with how much we drink here. But living in the desert, we're kind of used to it.
Do I go down here?
Yeah, you're here and here.
The consequences of waterborne diseases are deadly. They can lead to bacterial infections, typhoid fever, cholera, skin trauma, and even brain damage.
Yeah.
That sucks. Finally, world conflicts drive water insecurity. When a region is embroiled in a conflict of war, it becomes much more difficult for the people in the region to access water.
You control the water.
That's how World War III is going to start.
You control the water, you control the war. You control the outcome of the war.
Sometimes it is simply because there is too much violence in violence in conflict zones like in Afghanistan or South Sudan. Sudan. Even walking in a wall can become deadly. Not to mention that what happens when the water is further away than across the village. Some governments, especially Dictatorships restrict access to water to exert. I never thought water was such a problem.
Yeah, I mean, water is life. That's not even a joke, It's just not an exaggeration.
I was thinking after I'll tell you after this. Control over the people they govern. Additionally, I said it right. Modern weapons, that's right.
I don't see it. Oh, yeah.
Modern weapons, okay. Often have a side effect of polluting water. Zinsk. Russia has a contaminated water supply because it has the country's primary chemical weapons manufacturing site throughout the Cold War. Is that it? Is there more?
Huh. That's it.
That's it?
That's it. So now we have to do the questions, and we'll discuss the questions, and then you can answer them.
Okay.
All right. For the following questions, choose the best answer to respond in complete sentences. Part A. Which of the following best describes the author's main claim in the text? Water scarcity. I said we'll discuss it. Water scarcity is not something that humans have any control over, as it's caused by natural events. That's no, right?
No.
Humans can reverse the damage they have inflicted on the Earth's water supplies if they reduce their pollution output. They didn't really talk about that. Widespread water scarcity threatens the right that all humans should have access to clean drinking water, as it's essential to live.
Possibly. We'll see what the last one is.
And then water scarcity is an issue primarily caused by humans that needs to be addressed by humans.
D. I think it's water scarcity is an issue primarily caused by humans that needs to be addressed by humans. I said that really fast.
No, because there was also the talking about the natural drought too, and that's not caused by humans. So I would think
sure?
I would think really it can
because
be. It
if
totally
you take,
can be.
Because if you take all the water out like of the oceans and stuff, that messes up the water cycle, which in the water cycle, goes down, collects the
Especially
rain.
when they have to make their big crops and they use so much water to grow more food for those crops, So it kind of is.
They could.
But I would still say probably C.
Widespread water scarcity threatens the right
all
that
humans and
Yeah.
animals. Okay.
That's the most correct.
Which detail from the text best describes the answer to part A? Droughts are a natural process that have occurred throughout history. The effects of prolonged drought often depend on both severity and how people react to them. In Renapet, India, leather tanning waste contaminate groundwater with the chemical exfoliant chromium, leading to water that residents say stings like an insect. That doesn't have anything to do with it, really. Chernobyl, Ukraine, the famous site of a nuclear meltdown, still has contaminated water because of that meltdown. Did we read that?
No.
Oh, there's more over here on this page. Okay. Chernobyl, Ukraine, the infamous site of a nuclear meltdown, still has contaminated water because of that meltdown. Water is life. That's not an exaggeration or a metaphor. Large swaths of people die from waterborne diseases or from dehydration as a direct consequence of water scarcity. A human body is largely made of water, and daily water intake is absolutely necessary to replenish that. Water is more important for survival than food, and global access to water is a fundamental human issue. It is the first thing humans need. As water scarcity increases globally, we're all in danger. Without water, without that first thing, life slowly starts to shut down. Okay, so that sounds a little bit better.
Yeah.
Of an ending.
No, water. Done.
Water is more important for survival than food, and global access to water is a fundamental human issue. So,
yes.
C and D.
C. D.
How does physical water scarcity compare to an economic water scarcity? Okay, physical water scarcity, that's drought. Economic water scarcity, that's mismanaged water.
Human-made.
Yes, human-made problems.
Like pollution. Okay. Pollution. Put in pollution sticker here.
Physical water scarcity is caused when there's naturally a lack of water in an area, while economic water scarcity is caused when humans alter a once usable water source. So far, so good. Physical water scarcity is caused solely by droughts, while economic water scarcity is caused by humans' contamination of water. Probably not. It's not solely. Physical water scarcity is caused by natural lack of water in an area, while economic water scarcity is caused by a region's inability to afford water.
No.
Physical water scarcity is caused by humans' contamination of a water source, while economic water scarcity is caused by the lack of natural water sources in an area.
That's D, right?
No, because they flipped the words on you there. So I think probably A, physical water scarcity is caused when there's naturally a lack of water in an area, while economic water scarcity is caused when humans alter a once usable water source, meaning whether through contamination or control or whatever.
Good. I was gonna say if that was C to D to D again, I'm like, sus.
Yeah, but just pay attention to the
I know.
words and the questions.
I was-
not the numbers or letters that they are. Numbers. I'm the teacher now. Yeah, great. Okay. How does the introductory quote, "Consider yourself lucky when you pour yourself a glass of water," contribute to the text? It persuades readers to feel guilty about their access to water. It shows that most people take their drinking water for granted. It hints at a future in which people may not have access to drinking water. It encourages readers to reflect on their own access to water.
It encourages readers to reflect on their own access to water, right?
Yeah, I would say either D or B because it shows that most people will take their drinking water for granted. That is also true, and it is reflected in the text. So I would say either one of those.
Both.
I would accept. I think you can only select one though.
Is that it?
Choose the best answer or respond in complete sentences. Okay. That. And then there's the discussion questions. Okay. Brainstorm your answers to the following questions in the space provided. Be prepared to share your original ideas in a class discussion. Okay, so
Virtual.
let's go ahead and get your pencil ready and we can scratch out some information here.
Can I draw it?
You can do both. How does your own access to water compare to that of people who live in areas experiencing water scarcity? Cite evidence from this text. Use your own experience and other literature, art, or history in your answer. Well, we are very hyper aware of that because we were raised in the desert. Like, I spent my summers on 120 acres in a tiny trailer with no running water. It's like you had jugs and you had to make those last a certain amount of time.
She spent her life in 120 acre and 120 degrees.
Yep, 120. Yeah, that's kind of creepy, you know. But we traveled, and when we traveled, we only had a certain amount of water when we traveled and everything. And it's like I went through California wildfires where you have to manage that. So that's why we've rolled that over here. We compost a lot of our water. You know, we have our if it's yellow, let it mellow. If it's brown, try to flush it down policy. You know, all of those things came from having to value water.
Filter your pee, kind of.
we don't have to do that yet, but no, I mean we do know how to do that.
Do I?
You don't. I do. You know, but hopefully you'll never have to get to that point. But no, we're really responsible with our water. So, yeah, write that. Because it says, how does it compare? And we don't take it for granted being able to just, run water because I've been without water a few times in my life.
I've been without water a few times
after fires and stuff.
It's horrible.
Mm-hmm. But you can do it.
So, right, exactly what? We live in the desert, right?
Read the question.
I know.
And write some down. I mean, how do you just answer the question? I think that we better appreciate water than most people. We don't take it for granted.
People disrespect water.
Mm-hmm.
Because people are like this. Most kids are like this. Why?
Our people are Bedouin and native. Gold doesn't matter to us. It's water. I mean, it's like there's wars fought over water.
That explains why I hate gold.
Mm-hmm. And so when people came to the desert looking for gold, we're like,
okay. Gold, like this. Gold, water. Yeeks, water.
Mm-hmm.
Water is life. I mean, here's what I was trying to say earlier. I always think, basically, if water had nothing, we'd die in a couple of weeks. There would be no food even, because everything grows from food. There would be no plastic. There would be nothing.
Nope.
Not a damn
you wouldn't have electricity because it takes them Usually it takes water to run electricity through those big turbines and everything. They do have some wind and solar, but not so much. And for the big corporations, it's still done by water.
I love summer rain because you just stay out there and you're like.
Mm-hmm. That's why it's like we had a lot of water this year, and it's like we just soak it up. It was like we were so dry here that we still didn't get our pond up to where it was a couple of years ago.
Yeah.
I think it was in 2017 or 2018. Remember we had the big floods and stuff here?
Yeah.
The whole pond was full.
Basically, think of our place here as another. You pour water down and it fizzles away instant.
Yeah, I mean, this where we're at, the region that we're at is not really the desert. It's supposed to be mountain.
Yeah.
It's very quickly becoming a desert. I'm seeing animals and lizards here that you only find in the desert.
Scorpions,
yeah.
We literally found a scorpion once.
All right, what's the next question?
In the context of the article, who's in control, man or nature? How does the text explore the relationship between humans and nature? How do the ways in which humans influence their environment ultimately impact themselves?
Nature's in control.
Nature.
Humans might think that they're in control, but inevitably
they're not.
They affect nature and they're hurting it, but inevitably nature will reverse itself and shut things down, and then we'll be going.
I mean, I'm not starting to think earthquakes are just wrath of nature.
Earthquakes are a different story. There's fracking and stuff. See, water.
Hallelujah.
We really value water here.
I drink a bottle of water every day.
Recently, our well just went out and we had to pay over $4,000 to get it running again. And every cent of it is worth it because we cannot live here without water.
No. I don't get it. What do humans do to water in cities to make it taste a little bit sweeter?
I don't know. I have to say my place is always so much better in the city. I think they put chlorine and chemicals in it so it preserves it and stuff.
Chlorine?
Yeah, for sure.
If you drink that, you die. You get died.
All right, so write down what you think, how humans inevitably affect themselves by doing the things that they do. They're causing their own demise. Why the hell did you choose something for meditation that's like we're underwater?
It matches.
It's giving me anxiety. You're like,
matches.
It matches. I have to do my homework. I'm gonna make you uncomfortable with this meditation video.
Well, I just saw the first thing I saw on meditation.
The sound is good.
It was the first thing I saw.
That's fine. See how that works out for you in the future.
Mom, use me. I know, like, run draft. What the? All that water was pollution. Water.
After the flood, there will be so much water that's undrinkable and so much stuff that's going to be poisoned because of all of the things that are out. I
think I'd rather die by poison than...
They said that in order to survive, would have to be at least 7,000 feet above sea level. We're only at like 3,000 here.
I'm dead.
So I don't know what the aliens are thinking.
How? If we're like... We're screwed because we're
in
a cup.
I know, I'm like, why did you put me here if you know a flood's coming? It's just those things I think.
Maybe it's gonna rise. Maybe
it could. I've seen that, like almost like a plateau.
Pushing up from tectonic plateau.
Plates. There you go.
But that's about the size. Maybe a little bit bigger, but
we'll find out.
I feel like all the stuff inside this is gonna go.
All right. What's the next question? Did you finish that question?
Yep. In the context of the article, what are the costs and benefits of technology? How has the development of new technology negatively impacted the availability of clean water? How could technology be used to improve humans' access to clean water? Easy question. For one, technology made it pollute the water. And number two, how about they can use technology to unpollute the water for like filtration and stuff.
Yeah, it would be super simple just to I don't know. Let me tell you exactly when it changed. It all changed in the Industrial Revolution when they started using like
Guns.
coal and force and combustion and fire, and then instead of working with nature, all of a sudden you know, you had cars that could go 60 miles an hour, and you had, like, and you didn't even, all you had to do was start an engine, and the engine ran it. You didn't even have to crank it.
There's
And
more.
They took the human ingenuity, they took the human out of human ingenuity, and now it's all turned to technology. And the technology, it takes a lot of water to run it, to make it, and it just contributed to its own downfall. I mean, the same thing that you're saying, I'm just elaborating.
Yeah. I'm thinking. Oh, ow, my shoulder popped. That felt so weird. Anyway, like, if they do this technology, I want them to have it so it's like human allowed. Like, I want to see them do holograms, but that's like that doesn't affect nature. Holograms,
Yeah, there's plenty of things. Like, I mean, I love that we have gaming systems.
Minecraft.
I love that.
Toe Tick, I can't wait for it to come out.
I mean, there's so much good that comes out of those kinds of games,
Japan, though, they have good technology. I don't think it really affects.
Pretty in tune with their
They have a whole island for cats. They probably have a cat generator.
Spawner.
Meow.
But yeah, technology would be so easy just to make something that would help clean up the ocean or stop.
Have like robots that protect. Have
But really,
robots.
honestly, just like the best way to do it is just to separate from the technology. So I think.
Yeah, they should keep like the game systems and like this and stuff, but maybe not the Chromebooks. But they should take out cars. I mean, I live my life without a car, and that would be so much more peaceful without cars. Freaking people go on motorcycles all the time.
I know, flying up and down, tearing up the road and everything. We have to.
And people drag the road, which makes it 10 times worse, not better.
But we're getting off track.
But still about technology.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, cars have caused a lot of problems. And it's not just the fact that they're cars, but they're cars that go so fast. And they're so automatic. It's like there's, like I said, no human and human ingenuity. It's like everything. I mean, look at the cars that Dad gets from Hertz now. Basically, they drive themselves. I mean,
AI is taking over.
Literally take his hands off of the wheel, and you can
see it
driving. Even with a curve. I mean, it's amazing.
AI is taking over.
Uh-huh. That's
Beware the AI. Alright. Now I know what to write.
What?
I know what to write now. The cars, they pollute the air. And with the gas that comes out, that kills birds. Which then birds fall into the polluted water, which then turns into pollution. Because, it's not good to have bodies inside the water, right?
No.
And freaking, murderers and stuff. They, kill people, put them inside a bag, and they eat them into the water.
I was like, don't do that. But, it wouldn't be so bad if people weren't so unclean. Like, they have a lot of chemicals and stuff in their bodies and stuff. So it's like, if it's a natural death of an animal, it's in the water, yeah, you want to avoid that for a while. But other things are going to pick at it and eat it. It's not going to be there forever. But if they're completely laden with chemicals, like a lot of people are, there you go. But it's best to put it in the ground where the ground can eat it. And
yeah. We're going to have mutated animals soon.
We do already.
We're going to have multi-eyed.
We have singular-eyed sheep and cattle being born in weird places.
The cyclopses are coming back.
What was this question?
In context of the article, what costs and benefits of technology?
Okay.
So yeah, we're kind of on track.
The costs and the benefit, well, it's costing us our human ingenuity, and it's, I don't know what the heck that's contributing. Look, awareness, I mean, through the internet, people are making all kinds of, I mean, this, like I said, it's a YouTube generation. People are making videos about this sort of thing, about pollution. I mean, look at the documentaries and stuff. That's a positive thing that technology has brought to it. Bringing awareness to the public. And we get to see things we would never be able to see. Like the island of trash.
That's disgusting. That's not helping the water at all.
But if it wasn't for, people and their cameras, we would never know.
Yeah.
also radically changed the way that we with our waste. We don't have a lot of outgoing waste. Most of the stuff that we have in our house is compostable because we don't want to contribute to
Yeah.
that. I hate plastic water bottles. Those. I mean, you see what they do to our own yard within a summer. What happens to the rest of the world?
Oh, right.
Plastic water bottles. That's a main contributing factor. All right, what do we got?
So far, I got the cars pollute the air and water, and the benefit is having YouTube and cameras which bring harm.
Awareness. Look at these happy sleeping kids.
Oh, no more. All right, there you go. So that's it for CommonLit.
No, you're not done. There's more.
We've done this for half an hour already.
I know, baby. I think that you're almost done. I think there's only one more question, right?
There's no more.
Look at right here. What evidence does the author use to support the idea that contaminated water could negatively impact people's health? So you need to go back in there and find the evidentiary support to find out how it's bad for you. I remember toward the end when they were talking about like Erin Brockovich.
Everything about it's bad.
Yeah, but I mean, what evidence does she say?
Or is it here?
I think it was she. Shelby.
Everything about it is bad.
So you go back here.
I eat chicken. So adorable.
He talks about the tanning waste contaminating groundwater in India.
Okay, hold on a second.
I think on this one you're supposed to actually write a sentence, like so you have to write.
I have been.
Okay.
The tanning waste.
There's a couple of examples there. Write this down.
The what waste? The tanning?
It's right there. I gave it to you.
I have to look through all that.
I pointed right to the section. See, I feel sorry for your teachers. I really do. When you're actually in school, I can not imagine. But it's still no excuse. I mean, that's their job. They get paid for this. I don't get paid for this.
Spiritually, you do.
Mm-hmm.
The tanning. I
They
don't
blocked
see
it
it.
out. Yeah, you said it at the exact same time that came into my head from the script. You get karma, and at least your future generations won't be stupid.
Oh, they will.
Then we already are.
Emotion.
It's like
And choke on coal dust.
I am still looking forward to doing math. Maybe you can get Yeet and Ian to come and help you with the math because they like that nonsense.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
Yeaton.
Yeaton Morales what? Yeaton Vale.
Look at that baby kid. Look at his weird little eyeballs.
This Weskin. One of them, they choke on coal dust.
Where you going?
In China,
Can
they
you get that baby? Get the baby. Get that baby.
in China residents choke on coal dust.
That's right. Okay, there's another evidentiary support. Ow.
Ow.
My cousins. Oh, don't turn off. Turn off. Come on.
Oh, the China residents say they choke on coal. Yeah.
How about you?
How about you?
You're so tiny.
The only ones I found was the China coal dust and the India tanning wastes.
That's fine. Well, California had a similar toxic thing from PG&E or whatever. Had.
Did they take it out?
Yeah, they had a lawsuit and they had to put much more regulations in and stuff. Careful what you say on live stream, you don't get sued by PG&E.
Ooh.
We haven't even to pay. It's like, yeah, we have dogs, you know.
Yeah.
Traded dogs, cats, and horses.
It's like we have one horse that we can get. Done.
But we don't even use PG&E association. Alright, all done. Let me take a look. Meditate.
No. Can I just talk to the camera?
Just meditate.
I want the.
Jeez. Dude, you're on camera.
Exactly.
Breathe. Meditate. Show them how it's done. I mean, show your school how it's done. And you're not done because you have to actually answer these questions. Remember, we discussed them, but you didn't answer them yet.
We'll have to do a circle something.
Yeah. Should take you about 45 minutes, right? We'll be about 45 minutes for this whole thing?
Like an hour.
Okay.
No. It's like 36 minutes.
See? That's about right. We work about 40 to 45 minutes, and then you have your first break.
Okay.
Well, technically your second break because you already read and stuff this morning. You read and wrote this morning.
Would I write?
Yeah, you write in your grimoire every morning.
Oh, I forgot.
You did, right?
Yeah, I did. What did I write? So, first one it says it was D, right? Oh, yeah, DC. What was the CD? It was C.
Right, I found a piece of glass. Like a huge piece of glass. Where does this come from?
I don't know.
What the hell?
The hell is this? And D, it was D. And then it was B, right? It was B for the number 3.
Well, we'll read it again. I mean, you don't just want to guess.
Baby.
Just trying to show you the food. Oh God. Here we go. We're at that stage.
Hell. What the hell? Okay, there you go. Done.
Alright, let me go over that
My
again.
dabbing's getting better.
I should have the stapler on the other cat. See, we don't know anything in this life. There's a cat.
I'm dabbing. People say dabbing's not cool anymore.
I know, by the time that we ever learn anything, we're 2 to 5 years behind.
Breath of the Wild, not toting the.
No, Breath of the Wild, it was only about a year.
It's like this.
Not even a full year,
Dabbing.
I don't think.
That kind of hurts my arm right now.
Alright, so let's go over this. So what did we learn? We learned water scarcity can be caused by both drought and humans.
I already knew that.
It can also be caused by their cattle, too, because their cattle, like, muck through a bunch
That's
of, like, water sources and
I didn't know
stuff.
there's a difference between a human and a cattle. Oh!
Okay.
Emotional. I learned that there's a water scarcity. Did not know that, actually, to be honest.
I mean, we were watching that video yesterday.
I learned that
talking
yesterday.
about
I
that.
forgot. Yeah, I know from yesterday, but I didn't know until yesterday.
Well, I know. Remember, I told you there's only 3% water that we have access to that is drinkable in the entire world for every living thing that drinks.
Yeah.
3%. We all share that 3%.
That's what 2%.
I mean, that's scary, right?
3% of the Earth.
All right, so that's it. That's it for CommonLit for today. And we will be back in a little while doing the next thing, which I'm not sure what that is yet. So thanks for checking in. Maybe help us out with math when it's math time. Because...
Not like anyone was watching.
Yeah, right? But we did it.
Yeah, cool. Ow, my shoulder!
Karma.